3 tips on the DJI RC2. That's what today's video is all about, and an extra added bonus at the end. Let's do this. So hello, welcome once again to the channel on this horrible day in the UK. Having some up and down weather at the moment, but it's a time of the year, I suppose. So as I said earlier, today's video is all about 3 tips using the DJI RC2. I say tips, they're shortcuts actually. Some of you might not know these tips, so I just thought I'd put this video together. I've had 1 or 2 people reach out to me and ask me a few questions on the DJI RC and what it's capable of doing. So let's get straight into the video and have a look exactly what it's all about. One of the first things you should be checking when you first take off is your return to home height, and you can do that by hitting the 3 dots, going into safety and coming down just here to return to home altitude. This is where you can alter it. However, there is a shortcut to save going into those menus using the 3 dots. If you click the in-flight on the screen there, you can alter your return to home altitude as you saw just there. When you first open the RC2 or the DJI RC, sometimes you're not always greeted with your Wi-Fi settings, and what we need to do is open up the settings menu by swiping down twice, clicking on the settings icon just there. That will take you into the settings. Then we click network and internet, and you can see the Wi-Fi is not turned on. Selecting that will then open the Wi-Fi network. It's now connected to my home hub, and we go back, swipe down twice, and the Wi-Fi is now enabled. Equally, there is a shortcut. If we press and hold the Wi-Fi button, as you can see just here, that will then take you straight to the Wi-Fi options, where you can just select Wi-Fi on. What will happen now is that will then search and scan for any network that you've already saved, or it will scan for other networks, as you can see just down there. Once it's connected, as you can see just there, you scroll back, scroll down twice, there you can see that it's now connected to the Wi-Fi network. Equally, what you can do if you've already set this up, your saved networks, if you click on that, what that will do is any networks that you've actually saved, as you can see there, I've got my home network and the iPhone for when I'm out in the field. Tip number 3 is all about subject scanning, and now there's a shortcut for that. Now, as we know, when we're using quick shots, as you can see just here, we'll set the quick shot menu up. Once you click onto quick shots, it should automatically show subject scanning of what you might like to select, i.e. a car or a boat or a person, and as you can see, it's done a pretty good job at selecting all those cars. Going into the menus and control, you can see just here subject scanning is actually turned off at the moment. That's because we're still in quick shot mode, as you can see just here. If we go back out of quick shot mode and back into video mode, what we can do is go into the settings and subject scanning. If we turn that on, now in normal video mode, when we go back, as you can see, it's now selecting all the cars once again. If you can see me just down there walking into the frame, it will actually pick me up. We'll just zoom in a little bit, and you can see it's just trying to find me, and as you can see now, it's found me as well. So that's the cars and the people, and you can also select boats as well. This can be quite handy if you are flying around rivers and things and a boat comes along. If you've got your subject tracking on, it will quickly recognize it, and then you can get the shot as I did just here. You can toggle the subject scanning off and on at any time if you don't want to see those plus icons on your screen. And finally, the bonus tip. I was asked a few weeks ago, can you plug a hard drive into the RC or the RC2? And the short answer is yes, you can. And what would be the advantage of this? Well, let me just go through the actual video, this little clip here, and explain what you can actually do with it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to plug in an external hard drive into the USB-C connector, as you can see just here. And what that does, it will read the drive. You can see the blue light flashing on the hard drive, and then once it stops flashing, you know it's ready to go. So from the main menu, if you swipe down twice and then you hit the cog icon and then go into storage, you can see the internal storage of the RC, the T7 archive, which is this one just here, the Android, which is your SD card. So what will be the purpose of actually inserting a archive drive or a hard drive? And the simple reason is, if we go into the Android system and click on the music and audio, click on audio files, you can then click on the menu in the top left, and then scrolling up you should be able to reveal the Android device, which is your SD card. From there you can click into movies, and then any of these files you can now either select one or the other or all of them. In this case I'm just going to select one, and once you've highlighted one you can then go to the right hand menu and click copy to, and then back into your menu and select your hard drive, in my case the T7 archive, and then just click copy. What that does is it puts that item onto your hard drive, onto the root of it. You could select a folder on the hard drive that you've selected and put it into that folder itself. This could be quite a handy feature if you're out in the field and you've got a hard drive with you in your case and your SD card might be running a little bit low on memory, so you could just dump all your screen recordings to your hard drive, which will free up space on your SD card. So there we go, just a few tips for you. The first one being the return to home shortcut. I find that quite useful actually, rather than having to go through all the menus to find that return to home and adjust the altitude and all the rest of it. The Wi-Fi shortcut, that long press and hold as you saw in the video, rather than going again through all the menus and the settings. And the subject scanning, that's quite handy if you're looking to zoom in on a car, a person or a boat. It only works when the aircraft's in the air. You can't turn it on and off until it's actually in flight. Like I say, with the quick shots, that automatically comes up and suggests where you want to put the focus on. It saves drawing that box around the subject. Having said that, if you're doing a building or a bridge or something like that using spotlight, then obviously you wouldn't need the subject scanning. However, it is, as you can see in this little clip just here, it is useful when you're flying around a river and there's some boats around, and it will automatically pick those up using the subject scanning feature. And you can turn it on and off at your leisure as well if you don't want it to be scanning all the time. And the last one, the connecting the hard drive and copying your files over. I was asked that question a couple of weeks ago. Is it possible to do it? And as you saw, plugging the hard drive in and going through the menus, it's a little bit of a faff going into the audio menus, but it's a way of dragging your screenshots off the SD card, dumping them onto your hard drive, and then you can reformat your card whilst you're out on the go if you're running low on space. So a handy little tip there. And of course, you've got a backup copy of them as well, should your card go corrupt. So there we go, that wraps it up, this short video this week. Hope you found it useful and informative. As always, if you have, don't forget, give us the old thumbs up. And if you're new around here, why don't you consider subscribing, dinging the dong, and all the rest of it that goes with it. And you might like to watch those couple of videos over there that I've chosen for you. And if you do, I shall see you over there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.